CES starts in 2 days on the 5th.
Yep.
So, Dan, you can take part in this conversation if you'd like, if there's anything you want to throw in. But I know. But what are you looking forward to with CES? Because you know that AMD is going to be there, NVIDIA is going to be there, Intel's going to be there. You know, like the big powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that, well, not know for a fact, but we are 99% sure that AMD is going to be announcing their Ryzen 6000, which is going to use DDR5, which is going to
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to be playing Dance Dance Revolution
with the new.
We're rising to the top. Terrarius' Intel's GPU is going to be there. That'll be interesting. So that means there's going to be 3 GPUs or 3 companies with GPUs: Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. AMD is making one with Samsung. They're working with Samsung for their new GPUs for the dies for that. So that's going to be interesting. But what are you looking forward to?
Honestly, at this point, I'm more just looking forward to what answers they're going to have to the issues of the past year or so. You know?
Yeah.
I've seen so many blunders with how they've had to actually handle this. It's not really blunders on their parts necessarily as it is with the economy and
the whole market right now, yeah.
I consider the entire market to be a fumble at this point. So I'm excited to see how they're planning to tackle that issue.
Hire more people.
I don't think it's a hired of people issue though with the chipset because they can't get the silicon. Like they can't produce the chips fast enough. So it's not a hiring of people, which actually TSMC, they are making an entire new factory in, I think, is it Arizona, if I remember correctly.
Is it Arizona?
It's some desert.
There.
It's a desert state. I think it's Arizona. They have an entire factory, but that won't be in production until they won't be producing out of that until 2023 or 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be a while for that.
So we have a little bit to go
even
there.
Before then, they have to come out with some type of a marketing strategy.
They got to do something.
That's part of something they're going to have to bring out here because in order to actually make these new ideas or products marketable, they have to be able to, have those products. So I'm interested to see how they're actually planning to bring those out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, you're right.
They're not.
Speaking of products that they could have out, there's a rumor that NVIDIA is going to announce a 3090 Ti.
Yeah.
Because, the 3090 isn't overkill
Don't you
enough
mean
already.
Ti?
Yeah, 3090 Ti, my bad.
Yeah, it is technically Ti. I don't call
Ti.
it.
Screw it.
Fine.
I'm never calling it a Ti.
Let's be real.
It is Arizona. I was right. So, no, I don't know why. Why a 3090 Ti? Like that, it's overkill already. For gamers, it's not needed. Maybe for, video production, but then at that point, you're looking at getting a Quadro or something.
I was going to say, you're looking at a different style altogether.
You're looking at an entirely different thing at that point, which there's no point in getting the 3090 Ti. Because even when people say, oh, I'm going to get a 3090 for my gaming rig, I just go, you're an idiot. You don't need it. It's the same thing as a 3080, but with, what is it? It goes from 16 to 24 gigs, or is it double? Is it 12 to 24?
I'm pretty sure it's 20.
I thought I had 24 gigs of VRAM. Either way, it's way overkill.
I have to remember, I've
games.
read so many different stats over the past few days.
Yeah, well, I showed you that article.
They're starting to fumble. And
that article was full of stats. I showed them an article from like a year ago that I got sent and reacted to it on stream, and it was comparing the 980 Ti to the 1080 Ti, but it might just be the worst written article I've ever seen in my entire life. Would you agree? Like,
it's among the for those trying to be professional, yes.
It is 24 gigs on the 3090. Okay, so
which one was that? No, don't answer that. I'm trying to think in my mind. I sometimes talk to myself. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
I think AMD had one that might have been, but
for 20.
Cracking open a cold one in honor of Logan.
Yeah, he's not
His
here.
favorite, Mountain Dew.
This is for you, Logan.
Now drink water, Logan.
Yeah, Logan, drink water, you sick freak.
Yeah.
So anyways, we there's a lot to look forward to, I feel like. I'm excited to see what they do with the Ryzen 6000 since that's going to be implementing DDR5.
Dance Dance Revolution.
This might be the time that when they announce it, and I plan on upgrading, at some point. Maybe I just switch my 2 PC setup to a 1 PC setup because at that point, if we're hitting the point where a 2 PC setup is irrelevant for what I do.
It is. For what you're doing, yeah.
It is irrelevant, but I already have the gear, so I've been using it, right? But it's like
it's already for you irrelevant. But
hey, it works well.
Well, I get it, but you don't need
It works
to.
well.
Oh, no, I don't need it, no. But it's complete overkill. But this might be the time where I just say screw it and I go down to one PC setup, and then I can use one of these as a server PC. So I can actually have a NAS server and use it for a Minecraft server, stuff like that. But that's...
In that same breath, though, you don't need that upgrade yet. You are not in a position where you actually need the upgrade.
I don't need it, but I want it.
You see, that's the issue with you, George.
That is the
issue. It's because of people like
Therein.
you that were getting the 3090 Ti.
No, because I'm informed enough to not get a 3090.
No, but it's not because people like you who just want that next thing because it's coming out.
The next one.
It's not because they need it. It's because they want it.
I want the 4080.
You're not wrong. It's also...
That's what I would rather have. I would rather have a 4080 than a 3090 Ti. Even a 4070. I'd be fine with that. Which I'm
first
hoping...
I want to see what actual boons there are to the 40 series. I want to see the actual, like,
You are
stats
correct,
for them.
Troy.
Yeah,
That hasn't stopped him from buying things in the past, though.
I'm a
This
poor
is
boy.
true.
I understand. I am a poor
It is
boy.
true.
Hey, you could get one if you sell a couple guns.
No.
Where, you know, if you maybe, like, sold some of your other components, you might be able to upgrade.
Yeah. I mean, I could sell that entire second PC if I upgraded to that, but that's beside the point. Then Samsung, speaking of CES stuff, they announced a monitor, which...
Yeah, you were mentioning that earlier. I hadn't actually seen much
I
of
am
that
incredibly excited for this. I'm going to go to my Twitter because I retweeted something about it. Talking about this monitor, I'm like, I desperately want this. It was so cool, and I've never seen... So it's the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8. It is the world's first 4K 240 hertz display. It's a 32-inch monitor with a 1000 R curve, quantum mini LED backlighting, HDR 2000, and dual HDMI 2.1 ports.
And how many body parts are we going to have to sell to afford that?
I don't know. If I had to guess, it would be about $2,000 for that monitor.
So a kidney.
Yeah, like if I had to guess, it's going to be about $2,000. That's my prediction. $2,000. It's going to be $1999.99.
Is that worth it?
No.
Exactly.
No. See, here's the thing, though, too. What components do we have that would be able to push anything at 4K 240? Even the 3090 Ti, if that's going to be a thing, would not have the power behind it to push that card or to push that monitor. They struggle to hit 4K 100 or 120 even. 240? Mm-hmm. No freaking way.
Oh, I agree.
Now this is a huge difference. Like my 2070, when I go to play games on this TV, which is a 4K TV, I struggle to hit 60. You know, depending on the games. So I mean, I can't even begin to imagine, 4 times that amount on a monitor. That's insane. There's no card that could push that. Now, that being said, I want it. I really do. Will I get it? Not for years, but I want it. That's one of those things. So, I mean, that's something I'm excited to see.
It's nice, but I'm actually more excited about the technology I saw actually on a YouTube video for Linus, where they actually had switching between, 4K at 120 hertz down to 1080p at 240 hertz.
Oh, is this the video that he put where it's like, I inspired this product?
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't actually seen that yet.
That's actually something that's actually more interesting to me because that's more practical for the common user. To be able to switch between something for work and then something that's going to be more usable for like gaming or something like that.
See, I've hit the point now where unless it is a small screen like my laptop, I can't go back to gaming at 1080p.
You see, you think you can't.
I don't know. I've been using 1440 and 4K for so long that my laptop is 1080p, but it's a 15-inch screen. So at that point, it doesn't matter. The pixel density is already pretty dang good. But there's also a 3060 in there, which is able to drive it pretty well. But the fact that I even looking at those monitors over there, the other two are both 1080p. When I'm doing stuff on OBS, trying to like fine tune things, and I'm looking at those monitors, I'm like, I hate this. I want to use my main one. I can tell the difference sitting there, and it's brutal.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's really not that big of a deal.
I think it is. I think it is.
If you play games for that, you are in the wrong.
I'm a snob.
Yeah, you're in the wrong.
So, more Intel, or more, more stuff. Intel just had out their new CPU, so that's not really going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
They just put out, is it the 12 series?
Yeah, the 12th gen.
The 12th gen. They just put out the 12th gen, so that won't be there. But AMD apparently has new GPUs and CPUs that they're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Samsung's going to have that monitor. NVIDIA is going to be maybe announcing the 3090, but I'd rather see them announce the 4000 series instead of the 30.
Although we'll be lucky to get
My
an
thoughts
announcement for
exactly,
the
Terraria.
40s.
We would be lucky, but I don't know. What do you think about it? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
See, I have things that I'd like, but at the same time, I'm just so like fed up with how the market is as a whole right now that I'm just like, see, a lot of things that they announce are nice in concept and in theory, but a lot of it's never going to actually trickle down to us just due to the shortages that we've got and how hard it's going to be to acquire any of this. So I've been somewhat disillusioned about it these past few weeks. You get what I'm saying? Or few months, I should say.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say I'm not excited about what they're actually stating in there, but, you know, I'm interested to see what updates they do make and, like, how they actually do prepare us for that next generation when they're actually able to, you know, produce it. Like I said, I'd rather see them coming out with, like, hey, this is how I'm actually going to do it.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to get it into your hands.
If they laid out a timeline of, you know, hey, we're starting to ramp up production here. We're expecting to triple what we make here, which means that we're going to be able to get you more here. Mm-hmm. That'd be awesome. But that doesn't prevent the scalpers from doing the same thing they're doing now.
No, it doesn't. Really, we need to find some way to punish the scalpers.
But free market at the same time.
No, I get it. That really falls down to those of us at the ground level not buying from scalpers.
Oh, I see. That would be amazing, but people are stupid. I know, like in the UK, they actually made scalping illegal, but at the same time, that messes with the free market, and I don't agree with that.
You literally can't.
I am in the sense of, like, you know, let's get the least amount of government control as possible. I think too much overreach on anything is a bad thing. And so even this, you know, the fact that scalping's awful, I hate it. It's one of the worst things around. But I'm not going to be like, you know what, we should fine them or send them to jail for what they're doing.
No, that's part of the free market.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't be upset about it, but at the same time, we should be protecting freedom.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying, like, as much as I hate it, I don't agree with what they're doing in the UK. Like, there's not really a solution that is good. John needs photos of all of our faces as soon as possible. If you have any questions, text me. Why do you need photos of our faces?
I have many questions.
I have a lot of questions for this. Because I do not like photos of me, so it's going to be hard put. Sorry, John.
Just take screenshots from this video.
That'll look terrible.
It still look better than a standard picture taken of me.
Twitch compressed 1080p. 10 out of 10. I think it's only 6,000 kilobits a second as well, so it's not like it's super high, you know. But I feel like we can't punish them that way. So we need to figure out, you know, if they were to lay out a thing, be like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to put up, like, physical stores where you can only buy 2 at a time, like 2 in a week or a month or whatever, then fine. That might help, too, because people aren't going to buy, you know, tens of...
If you wanted that to stop, you would have to eliminate online buying.
Yeah, which that won't
happen. The real
either.
issue you're going to have with that, though, is... What about if you're somebody who's starting up a small business and you need 10 or 15 of those?
Well, then you could go as like a business account or something, but then the scalpers
you
would
just have
do
to
the
get the
same
okay
thing,
as a small business or something.
Yeah. You'd have to like prove a business license, because I mean scalpers don't have business licenses, but at the same time there's nothing from stopping businesses from scalping, which is what MSI actually got in trouble for. Do you remember that?
Yeah, actually I do.
When MSI was selling their own graphics cards on Amazon as a secondary store for double the MSRP or triple the MSRP in some cases. So
there would have to be
they were doing it
small
under
print within the business license that says you can't do this thing.
Yeah, there was
there is anyway, but
I forget what they had their secondary company named as. Terraria can look it up if he really wants, but it was something, because I mean MSI is MicroStar International, and this was something Star related, but it was like a smaller, what's the word? MSI was their parent company, I guess. You know, it was a smaller company branched off of MSI. Company. Yeah. And so they were like selling these GPUs at double or triple. So I mean, even then, you can't stop them from scalping, which is ridiculous. But going back to the CES stuff, I guess I want the Ryzen 6000.
I would like to see that as well.
I want to see more about DDR5, which also, did you see what Asus made?
Which?
With their DDR4 to DDR5 adapter.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not sure about that one. I'm looking at that with a very, very strong side glare.
Yeah, because it's, for those of you guys that don't know, it's basically you take a stick of DDR4 RAM, you put it into this adapter, and then you're able to plug it into a DDR5 slot, which I don't like that. I really don't. And it was called Starlit. That was the name.
Okay, but you see, there are issues on that on so many levels. Like, okay, for those of you who haven't built PCs before, it can actually take some force to get those in there in the first place.
Yes.
Imagine putting it into an adapter between there, so it's just more likely to create a slight slip up. You could break the entire thing.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It means you gotta buy a new one. It works for them.
No,
That's
right?
true. You gotta buy more.
That's straight up Apple.
That is
business
actually
That actually is.
That is exactly what Apple does.
Straight up.
What was Apple doing? $1,000 for the monitor stand? Wasn't it $1,000?
$999.
Yeah, for a monitor stand. Like what?
A magnetic monitor stand.
I have 3 monitor stands in this closet from those 3 monitors right there that I never plan on using ever again. There's no point. They're mounted. I don't want the stands. There's 3 of them sitting there. I could sell them. I should sell them for $1,000 a piece. Be like, here you go. I'm gonna pull an Apple.
Yeah, but yours doesn't have that nice, really cool Apple logo on there.
I will put an Apple logo on. I will spray paint it silver with a really nice silver spray paint, and I will put a little Apple sticker on there, and I will sell them for $900 a piece. Be like, hey, look, you're getting a 10% discount.
That's called false advertising and illegal.
That is highly illegal.
I'll do that, and then I can afford the 3090 Ti.
Because that's needed. We discussed this, didn't we?
Yeah, you don't need it.
Duh. Well, no one says I need it, but it's
no.
But
you have
something you would
0.
buy
No, I
regardless
actually don't.
because
I don't
you
even
have
want.
issues.
What I'm doing is I'm reinforcing it on you that you don't need it.
I don't even want the 3090 Ti. I made that very clear. I want the 4080 instead.
You still don't even need those, really.
Okay, you're right. I don't. But if I'm going to drive that Samsung monitor, then I do.
But
Yeah, but
see,
you're
you're
not
not
gonna
getting
get
that
that,
for
and you don't
years.
need
You
that.
said
I know
that.
I'm not. I know.
That means you don't even need a 40 series for a few years.
I know, Weston, but just
Just
let me,
no. I'm going to keep driving
Let
it into
me
you so
have
you
my
don't waste.
hopes.
No. Bad.
No.
Let me have
Shut
my
up, Jordan. No.
hopes and dreams.
No.
Those aren't hopes and dreams.
Those are just desires.
Let
Those
me
are
get my
pitfalls that
my
you just
streamer
fall in
millions.
and die.
Let me get my streamer millions, so I can buy what I want.
That's called bad stewardship.
It really is.
Yes, exactly. Listen to Terraria.
Yeah, he says it really well here.
Bad Jordan. Okay, you know what? We'll move on then from this topic
But no, there's lots.
Thank you,
Kind
sir.
of get back on that. There's
Appreciate
a lot
that,
of stuff
Ace.
I'm actually excited for. It's just I'm somewhat disillusioned right now and a little bit bitter, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
I'm just bitter right now, and that's the only issue that's running into with me.
because of the market, it does make sense to be a little bit bitter because of it. I mean, it sucks. The whole market's terrible, so I get it. But
no, there's a lot of stuff I am excited for, like improved DDR5 that's maybe hopefully affordable.
good luck.
I know, right?
Actually, so I just saw kits of DDR4 on Amazon, 16 gig kits. It was 2 8GB sticks at 3200 cast latency 16 by Crucial. $50 for 16 gigs. It was on a deal of the day. And I was tempted to pick some up, but I was like, I don't need it.
So what was the speed on those?
3200
That's not bad.
cast latency 16
That is not bad.
for $50. It was 2 8-gig sticks. I was like, if you need to get 32 gigs of RAM, you can get it for $100.
And that is not a bad.
That's incredible.
That's kind of a steal right now.
Because do you remember a couple years ago, like when I built my computer, I know it was bad. It was for 32 gigs, like $240 or $250 for 32 gigs of that same exact speed and timing. Now it's 100. Like that's over half price gone. Like that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's less than half, I guess, technically. But
So, yeah, I agree. So
that was a good deal.
So yeah, DDR5 being more affordable. I would like to see what they have for the 6000 series. I'd also like to see the next gen of the don't know, I'm looking a lot forward to the AMD presentation.
I am too. That's the problem is that's going to be at, I think they said it was 7 a.m. Pacific time, so it'd be 9 a.m. for us tomorrow or on the 5th.
I'll be working anyway. I get paid to do this stuff now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to watch a recap after I wake up.
It's okay. That's part of my job is keeping up on the industry.
I know you won't.
So
I will
that's
skip.
fine. See, I'll be there anyway.
See, you get paid to keep up on it. I just do it because it's fun. I enjoy it.
I enjoy that aspect of it. So,
but do you think they're going to move on to because they're on 7 nanometer for right now for Ryzen? Do you think they're going to move on to 5? Are they going to shrink that even more?
they're going to try, but they're going to hold off for a while. They're going to wait for everybody to actually catch up and become a real threat.
And then they're going to throw it out?
Yeah.
They
have no reason.
They have no reason, but I want them to so bad.
But there's no reason, and
because
you
know they have it. Because you know they have it. Mm-hmm. It's ready to go.
Or at least close to.
Like, I want them to be like, yes, it's going to be on the 5 nanometer, 4 nanometer, whatever they're going down to next.
But it won't, because there's no harsh competition at that level.
I mean, you're right, but I still want them to.
Oh, you can want all you want, but there's no money in it for them. They're not going to do it.
You're absolutely right on that. But yeah, we should probably get moving on.
Okay, yeah.
It is about that time, and Dan looks awful bored over there. So
no fun.